Okay, I am here on Design Space, and what I'm going to do is to show you how I got to my design. And one of the things that I would like to suggest is your design, don't make it really, really big because the Siser 600 brick is not meant for big designs. So you cannot do full front or full back because then it will add a lot of weight and a lot of texture to your garment or to your shirt or to your sweatshirt. So you don't want that. You want to keep it as nice and small. So I have my design right here, but I'm just going to show you how I got to that. So I'm right here on Design Space. I went to Images, and what I did, I typed moose face. And this is what it was giving me. So I selected this one, which is the one that I have right here. And you're going to see, well, this one is brown, this one is black. We need it in one layer, one color, because that's what we're gonna do with the Siser 600 brick. We're gonna do one cut, the whole thing. We're not using a combination of colors. Okay, so now we're gonna do right here, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on my image, and I'm gonna do color right here on this question mark, and I'm gonna switch the whole thing to black. Okay, so now I have my two designs, and one thing that I can tell you is in order for us to maximize space, now don't forget glow in the dark, glitter, Siser Brick 600, all those materials that somehow are kind of more fun in a way, and I don't have another way to describe it, they are considered a specialty. So they are a little bit more expensive. And if you are, using these materials, then my suggestion is try to maximize your space. Find a way to make it, all design your design in a way, like put it in a way that is going to give you the most space. In other words, try to set it up in a way, even though design space, put it together for you, but in a way, try to make it and attach it in a way that is going to save you space. All right, so now I'm going to attach the whole thing. I'm going to group the whole thing. I'm going to attach the whole thing, and I'm going to increase it just a little bit. Okay, I have my design here and almost ready to be sent to my Cricut Maker 3. And I just want to say, if you are kind of wondering what is the size of your individual designs, then you can always ungroup this, okay, or detach. Let's detach it. Now let's ungroup it, and you can always see it individually right here. So every moose with the word is about 6.8 by 6.1. If you wanted to make it a little bit bigger, then okay, let's go a little bit bigger. But this is a way of you to know the size of the individual design. Okay, so now I'm gonna attach the whole thing once again. I'm gonna no attach it, group it first. Let's group it first, and then let's attach. And let's see, just to make sure that it fits on our mats. And I think it's gonna fit just right. Okay, so now I have to make sure that I do the mirror. I have to make sure that I do the mirror and that my mat my fabric has, my material, I'm sorry, is shiny side down, and I'm going to show you. This is shiny. This is not shiny. This is kind of matte, and this is the shiny. So shiny side down, and mirror the image, and what I'm gonna do, I'm going to use light cardstock. We might need to cut it or to pass it through the machine twice, but we might not. So it all depends. Once it's done, we'll check that. Okay, heavy. This is heavy. It seems that I don't have it in here, but I'm gonna browse it. I'm gonna see where it is. And light cardstock right here. I select that one. Done. And I'm gonna do more pressure. All right, let's go. Okay, so I have my mat right here. And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna cut my material. I'm just gonna cut it to the size because I don't need that much. I don't need the whole thing. So I'm just gonna cut it to the size. That is about 9.5. So I don't need the whole thing and we don't need to waste. So it is important for us just to kind of just cut whatever we're gonna need. That way we don't end up cutting all of these material that we are gonna be wasting. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right here, my mat is not very old, however, it's not that sticky anymore. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to secure my corners. And I do this, that way we can kind of stick it really, really well. And even though my mat is not very, very old, it's still, I just want to secure it. That way it doesn't end up moving. Okay. I secure it. And just like this. Okay. What I'm gonna do right now, I'm just gonna check and see if it cut through. And I'm not going to touch any buttons just yet because if it's not cut, if it's not cut correctly, then I'm gonna have to do another one. And in order for the machine to cut kind of more accurate in the same spot, I don't mess with these buttons. I just press this. I don't go back to the settings. I don't do anything like that. I just press the arrow and it will cut exactly the same or almost exactly the same where it cut. And I can see the lines here. So I think I'm going to do another one. I don't know if this one is cut all the way through the material. So I'm going to do a second. I'm going to go and do a second cut. Okay, it looks like it's done. And you know what? I can see right here some of the areas it cut all the way through. Like I can see right here. Let me take it out to show you. Like I don't know if you can see. Like some of the areas it cut all the way through right here. So it's okay. I much rather this to do this rather than me trying to cut it and not being totally exactly, do the cut. So what I'm going to do when I weed, I'm going to just be very, very careful. Okay, I'm going to start weeding right here. And some of the areas, as I said, are cut all the way through the material and all the way through the vinyl or the plastic, so I just have to be Very careful. This is hard material. It's hard. So you just have to be careful, especially if we cut the whole thing. You just have to make sure that you are doing it in a way that you're just looking at it to see if it's doing it right, or if you are cutting more than you should, if it's not ripping. And it looks good. I usually leave it on the mat. That way it gives me a little bit of more resistance here. And you see all this, I don't know if you're able to appreciate here, but I don't know if you see all this space right here. We're gonna keep that because this might help us later to do a shape, you know, like if you need to do some letters, this might be helpful in the future. Okay, I'm just gonna cut here. Try to save some material that way I don't waste. And I'm just gonna take this out of my mat right here, so it helps me to have less on my mat. Okay, so I might need to secure this one more time. So I just go and I'm following right here my line. And it's coming really cute. Really cute. Don't forget um some of the material is cut all the way through, even with the transfer mask. So I have to be careful here. Okay. One mousse is almost done. Okay. Almost done with one. Okay. And just make sure that everything is, look at this. Look at how cute. Very, very cute. Let me see, where do you get not so much reflection? Okay, I am almost done here. And I try to be really, really careful because since my material, my Cricut Maker 3 cut all the way to the material, to the transfer mask, I have to make sure that neither one of these little tiny pieces get trapped between my sweatshirt, the one that I'm gonna get, and the fabric, or the, not the fabric, but the material, the Siser 600 Brick. So I have to make sure that it doesn't get trapped in between. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do carefully, because I have two of them, because I'm making two, I'm just gonna cut them carefully. There. And look at this, nice, nice, nice. It's gonna look really, really nice. So that's one. And then I have the other one right here. All right, so I'm just gonna look at it and make sure that all the ears are weighted. Ears are good, eyes, and the little ear nozzles, or I'm not sure how you call them, you know, but the nose, the you know, the here, these little thingamajiggies are with it too, and then the mouse um of the mouse of the mouse. Okay, so I got a little bit of thing right here. Another thing that is really important, and I want to talk to you about it, is to label your material. Make sure that you label this, because when you are just kind of storage it, you know, it looks very, very similar to the regular thick vinyl. So if you have other vinyls in your storage place, wherever you storage them, then you don't want this to be confused and think that is the regular vinyl. This is considered a specialty. This is considered a specialty and is a little bit more expensive because it gives like a little extra look to your garment. It gives like a little bit of 3D. It looks like 3D. So it's considered like a higher quality or a high, I don't want to say quality, but it's considered like a higher way of presenting your garment. So label it, that way you know what material you are using. One of the things that I do with this kind of material is when I'm done working with them and I put it back in the packet or whatever you have, is label it somehow with a Sharpie, because that way you know that is the Brick 600, which is the one that looks like rubber. It gives you the 3D appearance on your apparel. It looks just like just like vinyl. I gotta tell you, it almost looks just like regular vinyl, so it's easy to get confused. That's the reason why I always try to label this, at least this kind. The glitter is very visible, you can see it. There are other glitter, other vinyls that are, very noticeable. And you can tell right away, but with this one, it almost looks like vinyl, regular vinyl. So I always, make sure that I label it. Okay, I have my sweatshirt right here. This one is Comfort Colors in size M. Let me get it closer to the camera. It's size M, and this is where I'm gonna put it. I'm also gonna do the other moves on a shirt, on a t-shirt. So let's start here by pressing it to get rid of the humidity and also passing the little roller to get rid of any spots, anything that we don't want to be trapped. We don't want it to be trapped in our sweater. Okay? Because my design is a little bit smaller than usual, it's not a full front and it's not cover the whole thing, I'm gonna do it 4 fingers. I'm gonna do the 4 fingers, but I'm also doing a little bit lower than 4 fingers. Let me show you. Okay, I have my design right here. I'm gonna do the 4 fingers, but I'm gonna do it a little bit lower. You see my 4 fingers right there, and I'm leaving a little gap right there, and that's what I'm gonna do it. Now that it's nicely secured with tape, what I'm gonna do now is to have a pressing pillow. And I'm gonna do pressing pillow right here. My heat press is being heated up 320, and I'm gonna press it for 20 minutes. Done. Let's do it. 20 seconds. Okay, it's been 20 seconds. What is my heat went? All the way to the floor. Okay, look at this. So it looks so pretty now, but we have to wait. Oh, the lighting is horrible here. We do have to wait until it is fully cold. So I'm gonna do the other design and I'll be back to this one. Okay, now it's cold now. So I have now waited enough for me to take the transfer mask, and I'm gonna do a second press. That's what Siser recommends, and that's what I'm gonna do. So just carefully here. Some of them might be stuck, so just make sure that you carefully remove it, all of it. Some the little tiny pieces. Other than that, the color looks amazing. The color, and it feels so nice and soft. Amazing. I'm just obsessed with this material, to be honest with you. I think it looks so cool. This one is a little bit stubborn. So as I was telling you, it's barely there. It feels, you know, that is an extra layer. However, the weight of this material is not super thick. It doesn't feel so unflexible. It feels nice and soft. So it is flexible as you move. And at the same time, it doesn't feel heavy as, you know, as other vinyls or another materials that do add a lot of weight to our garments. Not this one. I highly recommend it.